Today I want to talk about how my wants have changed. I imagine there are a lot of people out there who might relate to this, at least I hope so. But just a few words about this drawing in the background. I did this yesterday. I realised that I hadn't done this in a while and I wanted to break out the fine charcoal and do a figure again before I get too rusty. I really like how malleable fine charcoal is. I also use charcoal pencil at some stage, and this, what you see, is a representation of my current skill level in doing this. I mean, clearly I need some more practice, and that's exactly what this is. Everything I do currently is practice, and one day, hopefully, I hope I can do a finished, polished piece that I'm happy to say is a piece of art, but I'm just not there yet. Phew, okay, well, at first when I wanted to draw, my goals were quite simple. I would see something someone created and think, wow, I really want to be able to do that. That looks so good. And for me, what that want is has changed over time. But recently, probably these last 2 years, I've mainly wanted to draw people. So I practice and I practice. And at the start, my goals were pretty simple, just to be able to comfortably draw a person. In order to do this, I would try my best to draw what I would see in a picture or photo and try to draw it as well as I could, which obviously at the start I wasn't very good. But this time I told myself all I have to do is to just don't give up. That's it. End of story. Well, I say this because in the past my drawing has been on and off. My time drawing or painting would be so fleeting and I would give it up for years at a time. Clearly there's more to it, but here's something else that I've discovered in my current journey and recent commitment to drawing, and that is that the thing that I want to be able to draw or create has changed. At the start, I remember wanting to draw cartoony characters. Then I wanted to do it digitally, so I bought a tablet years and years and years ago. But then I did that for a little bit, but then I went back to traditional art and I started drawing again, objects, still lifes, landscapes, and so on. The one thing that was always there was that I've always wanted to draw people, though. That was a common theme, even if the flavour of the day changed. And at first I would be happy if I could draw a simple head, so I would draw a lot of them. Then in time I wasn't happy with something about it, so I would try and fix it. Then something else was wrong and I would try and fix that. And as I was doing and reviewing what I had drawn, this very process, which I believe is one of the best ways to improve, and gaining more knowledge and experience slowly, I was also starting to pick up things I couldn't see before. So my original goal of drawing heads over time became more complex. So then I wanted to be able to draw heads that not only look like heads, but have shading or values, or now I want to paint them instead, or now I want to be really good at drawing eyes or heads at different angles, and to be able to get a likeness, which, as a note, I still have trouble with today, but anyway. So, okay, well now I want to be able to draw the whole figure, so I practice that. I'll draw a figure on a piece of paper with nothing else, just concentrating on trying to get it to look passable as a person. And while I'm doing that, I usually ask myself, why is it so hard? I'll tell myself, you just need to do a ton more of them. Do hundreds of really crappy ones and eventually it won't be as hard or as daunting. So I do that and it does get a little easier, but then disaster strikes. Well, I can see the mistakes again that I couldn't see before. And I guess my standards for myself have moved up a bit, so it feels like I'm still at the bottom of the ladder. But what's not obvious is that the whole ladder just moved. I've essentially taken the ladder, picked it up and moved it, and now I have to climb it again, but it's not in the same spot as before. My goal being at the top of the ladder has also moved when the whole thing moved. I also think, unfortunately, I have multiple ladders going at the same time, which feels like a lot of work, but I imagine really good cardio. Oh well, so now I want to get some anatomy knowledge. Then I want to learn to shade with values again. Then I want more than just a figure or portrait. It should be in an environment, have a background, perhaps a bit of a story to it. And this is kind of where I am now. I can't say I'm happy with just doing figures or portraits in space, but I'm not sure how to create more than that at the moment because it wasn't a goal before. But I can see it becoming one very soon, and I'm getting the urge to move my goal or ladder again, and therefore I'll have to climb it from the bottom again. Well, I was taking that pretty hard until I realised this recently. Every time I start, I'm not starting from the same place I was before, so I don't need to worry about it too much, even if my progress is slow, because the biggest thing to remember was to just don't give up. And that is the only thing I have to do. Just don't give up. And I urge others that are finding art difficult to learn to also not give up or just don't give up. And we'll get there eventually. So now I'll let the 12 people who watch this video watch the rest of it in peace, and thank you.